G'day, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me for a very, very blustery, what are we at, like midday-ish, coming up to lunchtime, sort of mid-morning, here, somewhere near Goulburn. It's awfully bloody cold, and what's nicer when you're cold? And a coffee. So that's not a coffee, that's a tube. This is the Rough Country espresso style, pod style coffee machine, and it makes pod coffee, but you do have to boil the water first to put it in here. I've now run roughly 20 coffees through it, something like that, maybe a bit more. I'll actually count that later on and fix that up in the video. That's off one charge. I think from the packaging it was like 80 coffees off one charge or something like that. Now it is only just pumping it through. It has got some problems. To get the best experience out of this, you're going to want to run an all aluminium coffee pod, which is unfortunately not as nice to the planet as the other ones, although there's a question of invested energy in the actual materials, but we're not talking about recycling here. It's just worth mentioning. That said, with the aluminium, it does work very well. It manages to pierce the coffees, both ends of the pod, and make a good stream, and seems to work again and again if you put more water in it for a for a tall coffee. But there are some issues, and we're going to go to those. But first, I'm just going to show you how it works. Now, I did do this back in when I was figuring out myself back in Sydney, so I won't do it here. But once we're done with that, we're going to go and check out the problems with this thing, because unfortunately, I don't think it's Bonza. Anyway, we'll get there. Here we are, we've got the, Rough Country portable espresso coffee maker, rechargeable espresso, so wrong, style pods, and 30-second extraction time. Okay, cool, nice. Here we go, let's have a look at it. Let's check it out. Of course, I haven't taken it to the bush to use it yet. We don't know what it's like there, but here's some adapters. Here's some foam. Here's the device, the cable. First disappointment. Yes. Right, here's the first disappointment. It's not a USB-C plug, it's a D-barrel for Ds. Right, yep, cool. Warranty information. We got, maintenance, stuff like that, how to use it. Very important. Have a look at that in a bit. The device itself comes in a sock. Right, yeah, at the top we got the 5 volt 1 amp DC input. Now, if you're nifty, you could put a USB-C on here, probably. A button. A big button. And it opens up here, and that's that. And the bottom opens up, and that's that. And are these two cups? Oh no, that's a cup. Is that a cup? I'd have my espresso, please. So in this thing here, woo, I believe that's the pod adapter. I'll get some photographs of the parts closer up and put it up. Ground mix adapter and scoop. So it goes. And then that's definitely the top. How smart am I? Can I figure it out? Very interesting. This must be some sort of puzzle. Alright. Cool. Anyway, let's have a look at the instructions. RTFM. Okay, so a couple of problems I have with this already. I figured it out, but the instructions don't actually tell you. If I take this off and that little thing out, they don't tell you that this pulls out with a rubber seal. You always get worried about breaking things. Well, that's one of those things, right? So that goes in there. Oops. That lines up on some pins and goes straight down in there. And then your little cup with your ground coffee goes in here. And then you go, yoop. And screw that down. And you open this, put your water in here, close it tight, push the button, invert the portable espresso machine while holding it over the cup, press button. Machine will automatically finish when stop when finished dispensing, or you can press the button again. And then there's a charge indicator on this thing here. Do you notice it's upside down, isn't it? Why didn't they just put that the other way up and make it like this, and that would have made sense, because you use it like this. Is this a comment on what they think of people's intelligence? I don't know. The other problem with this, there's a failure in design. So that's an issue, because where do you pack it away? There should be some way that these go together. Like that should go in here with the cup. So the cup goes in there. That should go in more flush, and then that should screw away. It doesn't. It's also a bit shit finishing there. So you actually need to have a thing to hold your things that go with it. Or you just go planning to use one particular method. Something I should note right off the bat, this machine only takes the smaller Nespresso coffee pods. Be sure of this when you purchase any coffee pods for this machine, or you're going to have a bad time. I've sped up this section for brevity, but once you have acquired the correctly sized coffee pods, you can then go ahead and test the machine. So you want to insert the coffee pod into the device and screw it tightly. This should pierce both the top and bottom of that pod. Boil up your water, one moment, and then put it into the reservoir at the bottom. Now, this is something you need to be careful about, and it is a very small reservoir, but there is a line indicating how much you should fill it up. And then go ahead. Now, keep note, I actually did put almost, but I think it was slightly below the minimum there, amount of water, and this will become important later. But there's the coffee, and you can put some more water in there and run it through to get some more out of it, or a long black. And as you see, it doesn't pick up all the water in the reservoir. And there's the pod. Now, to clean it. But first, there's something I am going to have to point out. The second flaw in this device, and probably the major one, is going to show up when I come to clean it. So you get a bit of boiling water, put it in the reservoir. Now note, I filled it up just a little bit more there, but it was below the line, which you can see, hopefully. And then close it, and oh god, okay, everything just came out. Now, that may or may not have been closed particularly well. This is like the second time I've ever used it. So I go again very carefully, and seems better, but do take note that the water has cooled down somewhat by now, and that pressure, initial pressure, was released. Now, once you've done this, you're going to want to open it all up and just make sure there's no, if you store it for a long time, coffee, water mix left in any of the nooks and crannies. Of course, there won't be at the bottom there, but in the top section there may be, so just give that a rinse out, maybe with that water that's not used from the reservoir if you're out in the bush. But there you go, that's what you do to wash the device. Anyway, with that, I finished up making my coffee, and of course I like honey in my coffee. Oh my gosh. Just, if you haven't tried it, get in there and give it a go. It's the best. So, while I am warming up,
some water to make a coffee. I want to go over one of the faults with this thing. Now, what you got here is a biodegradable, compostable, paper top, little doobie whacker. And the thing is, if I put that cartridge in there, oh, almost in the bin. If I put this cartridge in here and tighten the lid down, hard as I can, pull it off again so I can show you, it doesn't breach. As you can see, there's no breach. So what you've got to do is, where's the bloody tool I just had? Oh, no, I'll show you. Oh, put it in over here. Put it over there because I'm being smart. Alright, so what you got to do is, that's right, got to make your own holes. Whoopee. Then put the lid on. Now we move on to fault number 2. I'm going to take my gloves off for that, remove my hand warmy thingies. Alright, so we've got a capsule in there, and the water's in here. For a start, it doesn't use all the water up, but the second thing is, where's me knob? Where's me knob? I've lost me knob. So in here, there's a line to fill it up to, alright? And I'm going to do it a little bit below that line, because I know what happens. You come along and give that a good twist. Get your cup, and you can see what's happened already. Water's leaked out. That happens every time. And that's not all the way up to the maximum level. That's just, it does work, but it's got some major flaws. And I'm not sure that you can really be selling a product that leaks boiling hot water so reliably. That's pretty dodgy. And I think that's why this one's going to go in the do not recommend. The idea is cool, but the execution has some serious flaws. And it's a shame because I haven't charged it up yet. It's still, still going on. Yeah. Now, one other thing that will sometimes happen is if you want to go for that extra long shot, so you refill it, flip it over again, and there you go. Yep, it's done it. It's vapor locked, so it won't run just 2 hits through. You'll have to undo this, put it back on, and there you go, there's your long shot. So, okay. Yeah, it's not great. It's got some flaws. I mean, look, it makes a coffee that is better than instant. And in my book, that's a win. But I wouldn't want to give this to like a child to use, or to anyone who I hadn't told about its foibles. So it'll stay in my kit until I find a better product. Or maybe Rough Country can, I don't know, show me their version 2 of this thing or something like that. Maybe this has been superseded and the shop I got it from, which I know for a fact is or happy to pinch some pennies. Just sort of got it back off someone else and put it back on the shelf because there was only one, and that wouldn't surprise me from that mob. Anyway, yeah, so that's that. Yep, go find another coffee machine. I will probably try to find another coffee machine and grab it so I can review it, because it's kind of a cool idea. Works absolutely fine with the metal ones, pierces those, and yep, but it leaks water, like I said, and yeah. However, I am going to go and enjoy this coffee now. So yeah, rock on. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll catch you next time.